Jai Shri Mataji. Let us all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan. Shri Ganesh Mantra. Now let us listen to Shri Mataji's speech.
But it is because they are not women. If you are a woman, you definitely feel for your children and their death. But after some time, such a woman comes back again and she accepts the life as it is for the sake of her husband, or maybe if she has more relations or other children. She becomes extremely powerful as a reaction to what has happened. That's only possible if your center of heart is alright. Such women do not grudge, do not complain, are extremely serene and can bear up lots of things. They are extremely tolerant and can go to any extent to help their children. But they are never spoiling their children. They never spoil their children because they understand spoiling is much worse than beating the child. They never spoil the children nor ever pamper them and never get dominated by their children. They know I have to guide the child and I have to look after the child. So they look after all the ideals and the righteousness and the virtues of the child. And if he tries to get out of it, they go all out to win him over, back to virtue and to better life. But those people, those women who do not care for actual growth of the child may just avoid it and escape. In the men, this chakra is caught up if they have lost their mother very early, or if their mother by chance is a very cruel woman. Also, this chakra can be caught up by men if they have been to wars and if they have seen frightful things in the war. Such people could be extremely emotional and could be easily befooled by people who try to win over their emotions. What is to be done to improve this chakra? In Sahaja Yoga, we have many techniques by which we can improve this chakra and get your confidence back. As Patrick has said, that he never used to speak. And I have seen many actors who act very well. And when they came to my program, they said, Mother, please don't ask us to speak because we just don't know how to speak. We can act, but we cannot speak to people. And I tried once and twice and they ended up with 2-3 sentences mumbled down and sat down. I found out all of them had this chakra very badly damaged. Perhaps they lacked the love of their mothers, perhaps they did not love their mothers, or perhaps maybe that they did not understand the value of virginity in women. So those men who try to look at every woman who passes by, those men who try to have lusty eyes, can also develop this center very badly. And lots of problems can come through this center. One of the problems that comes through this could be lung cancer. But I've seen this center is very badly affected also by certain negligence in life. Like some people have a habit of having a very hot bath and then coming out of that hot bath and entering into some cool place. Such people will catch this center very badly and they will have a problem. Then there is another thing which looks very simple, but many people have a habit, especially summers, to wear a one single kurta or single shirt and not the undershirt. This is also not proper. A man must always have something under his shirt, otherwise when it starts perspiring, he can get trouble into this heart center. This heart center is caught up by various emotional problems in human beings. Husband and wife, if they all the time quarrel, there's always quarreling in the house, especially if the mother is very dominating, the child develops this center. And if the father is very dominating, the child develops the heart itself. So it is very important that husband and wife should never quarrel in the presence of their children. Now there resides in this center the incarnation of the goddess who came on this earth thousands of times, and she resides there for your protection. But first of all, you have to be worthy of her protection. When she came on this earth, many a times, her body was made by various forces, as if she was like a bubble, and the bubble was covered by so many things added on to that. And that's how she got lots of things from various gods. Like her hair she got from Yama, the god of death. Her nose she got from the god of wealth, Kubera. And her ear she got from the Pavana, that is air. Like that, her body was made specially by the essences of these great deities who donated their essences to the goddess to be equipped to do these multifarious activities. Now the first activity, as I told you, of the goddess is to save her children from the negative forces. So she looks extremely mild, sweet, but she can be extremely violent, in the sense she can kill or crush anyone who tries to overpower her children. Ati Saumya, Ati Raudra. These two temperaments exist only in the goddess, because she is the mother, and at any cost she wants to save her child. Also towards her child, when he goes beyond a point of understanding, when he shows no sense of discipline, then also goddess can pull him down by certain methods that she adopts. Now first of all is that she gives all that is needed to remove the fear from the mind of sadhakas. Secondly, she cures the center by giving birth to additional antibodies in the body, and by vibrating the tired antibodies to act in a way that they can fight back again. Even in day-to-day life, she may establish her existence by showing lots of miracles to her children. We had a lady coming to see me, and she was rather late. And when she came back, I asked her what was the problem. She said, no, there was no problem, but my bus fell down about 20-30 feet down, and the thing rolled down and fell on the ground with all the 4 legs intact. And all of us in the bus were saved. But the driver got upset and he ran away. So somebody who was in the car, who knew how to drive, came down and he switched on the car, and the car started moving. And we came back then to Bombay. So on the way they started asking, there must be some saint sitting here. Otherwise, how can we be protected? Only a saint can protect us like this. And she was wearing my ring. Oh, they said, this is Mataji's disciple. They all started falling at her feet, saying, oh, you have saved us, you have saved us. So there are many miracles that take place in your life. When you see an accident taking place, suddenly you find the accident is over. There was one fellow who was a journalist called Marathi. He and his friend, another journalist, were coming from Lonavala down. And it's a very big, slopey road, ghat, and their brakes fell. And the driver said, now the brakes have failed and you take God's name. And they started remembering their mother. And suddenly they saw a big truck coming ahead. They were about to bang onto that, they closed their eyes. And God knows what happened. They opened the eyes and saw the truck was going upward and they were moving forward without any difficulties. And they were amazed how it has happened, as if somebody has lifted their car and put before the truck and they have been saved. And the driver also closed his eyes and took the name of the mother. It is possible. It has happened with so many people that they do not know how it works out. So one has to believe that we have the mother within ourselves, in our heart. And if she is awakened, she is going to look after us. She is going to give all the protection that is needed. And there's nothing to be frightened of anything. But you can imagine, as Patrick has said clearly, that they were quite frightened. And I know they are. Even English language is like that. All the time they'll say, I am afraid, I have to go. What is there to be afraid if you have to go? You better go. I am afraid if I am doing. They are all the time jittery like that. And so jittery, and when they talk, they are so frightened that sometimes you feel nervous with them. That you don't know how to approach them the way they are nervous. And one of the reasons why they are nervous is that because they plan too much, think too much, analyze too much, and then ego settles down into their brains and ultimately covers the heart. Because their ego covers their heart, they get a fright. Actually, it so happens that if you become ego-oriented, you start seeing yourself through. Because when you are at a level, you can even see your ego very clearly. And then you get frightened of other people because you think they too also must be having the same type of ego, and you are really frightened of it. It is very common also in the East. Now in India, I should say that supposing you have to go to a government office, be careful. Anybody, even a chaprasi can shout at you for nothing at all. They develop a system of barking all the time, just go on barking. The reason is they bark at you because they themselves are insecure. A chaprasi is insecure of his boss is insecure of his boss is insecure of his boss. Ultimately, the minister is afraid of the voters, and the voters are afraid of the minister. It's such a vicious circle. So the whole system works out into such a terrible insecurity that you don't understand what is there to bark at, what is there to shout at. And then a kind of a identification with the falsehood is built up so much that you are no more a human being. You are either a secretary or you are an undersecretary or a joint secretary. I don't know who is higher, who is lower. And then you have some other secretaries, and then you have clerks and this and that, and you are that. You are nothing else but that. So, because you are that, you must have these horns and you must shout at people, otherwise nobody is going to believe that you are something. So, it is such an identification that develops into human beings. That too because of this heart not being developed properly. Because if your heart is developed properly, then you are a human being, because you know your mother has given you the birth and you are a human being. There's no need to have any fear from another human being who is also a child of your mother. So there has to be no fear about it. But the trouble is that when human beings start wearing anything, supposing they wear a suit, immediately they start speaking in English. As soon as they wear pajamas, they start speaking in Hindi language, or say dhoti Hindi language, and pajamas, they might start giving galis. So it is a kind of a very superficial identification human beings develop because there is no depth in the heart. If they had that depth, that moving in the heart, then they would not develop these superficial things, and as a result of that, they are frightened. Because they know they are superficial, others are superficial, they have got beard, we have got beard. So they'll pull, if I am going to pull his beard, he might pull my beard as well. Such a fear exists among human beings. And then another steps come into the minds of the people, that why not pull his legs to go up? This is the third category of debasement. If you are the child of the same mother, how can you go higher than anybody else? You will remain always the child of the mother. How can you go higher than any other child in the eyes of mother? You cannot. On the contrary, if you try to do such tricks, the mother will punish you. And this is the second thing that mother does, is to punish her children. Yes, she punishes. In very sweet ways, first of all. For example, if the child is not eating and troubling, she said, all right, you don't want to eat, all right, don't eat today. That's a very simple way of punishing children. But then she said, all right, you want to have the way you want to have, go ahead. Like I tell them not to do such a such thing, it's not good. For example, I told them that don't take the flats just from the beginning and let all the Sahajogis stay with other Sahajogis. But the organizers thought it better to take the flats, whatever may be the reason, because they are very wise organizers. But you see, mother says something very simple, but it has a meaning, one must know. And they arranged it that way. So, half of the people just protested that no, we are going to stay with some Sahajogis, we want to be with them, so they were accommodated. The others were British, nowadays are on the other side of the mood. They are very, very tolerant. And they said, all right, if we are not arranged, we'll stay in the flats. So they stayed in the flats. But what happened? It rained and rained and rained and rained, and they could not arrange their food even under the roof they had built. So they had to shift all of them to other places, and all of them had to stay with other Sahajogis as told by mother. If they had listened to the mother, they would have saved some money, as well as they would have saved some trouble, and there would have been no problem at all. That's how little tricks here and there are played by mother, just to convince the children that you have been stupid. Now, there are so many things like that which mother can play, and her playfulness is very important in life, because if she is severe with the children, they'll run away. If she is like any other guru, the Sadgurus also, they used to beat their disciples. They used to hang them by a string. You don't know how the gurus treat their disciples. Some of them take lots of money from their disciples, and some of them take lots of things from the disciple. They want complete surrendering, and they make them subservient. They really torture the lives of their children, or their disciples, we should say. But the mother doesn't want to do that. So she plays little tricks here and there and tries to correct the children. Now I'll give you an example of a guru whom I met about 5-6 years back. He came from Amarnath to a small village, small district place near Bombay, where a Sahajogini was staying. And he sent his disciple who was staying in that place to see that Sahajogini, and he went and he told that, you see, my guru is coming and he wants to see Mataji, and he has told me that only Adi Shakti will clear out my Agya Chakra. So she couldn't understand. She said, what is your guru doing? Oh God, don't talk about him. He held his ears. Don't take his name. Oh, you can't know what sort of person he is. He said, but why doesn't he open your Agya Chakra? Mother will be coming, but of course, why shouldn't you do that? He said, no. He said only she should open, nobody else should open it. And he sent me to this place about 5 years back, saying that in the 6th year, Adi Shakti will be coming and she'll open your Agya Chakra. Now, can you believe it? Poor fellow suffering from that horrid Agya Chakra was suffering when this guru had come. So he came to see me and he told me, Mother, my guru has come and he wants to see you. So I went to see him. And this guru was sitting down there with a big temper. You see, the nose was all bloating. Of course, when I went there, he touched my feet and everything. And then he called one very bad name to this thing. Did he touch your feet? Was he all right? Was he behaving all right? I said, he was all right, but I can't understand. Why did you not open his Agya Chakra? He said, let him go to hell now. I'm not going to open his Agya Chakra. Who opened my Agya Chakra? Why should I open his Agya Chakra?
Mahamantras.
Shri Nirmala सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः.
Thank you, Shri Mataji, for all these blessings and vibrations. Let us all bow down to Shri Mataji, raise our Mother Kundalini and put Bandhan. We will continue tomorrow morning, same time. Jai Shri Mataji.